Hello, and welcome to the Knots of Mayhem podcast, number 3, I believe. I believe it's 3. It could be 4, but I think it's 3.
I really think it's 4.
Tiernan really thinks it's 4. My little guy, he really thinks it's 4. So, I'm Amanda, and this is my podcast for crochet and just stuffs. Quirky stuff, geeky stuff, my stuff. And I'm going to try so hard not to say a million times, but it could very well happen. How are you? How are you doing? Things are weird, huh? There we go again. And since things are weird, and we're still kind of getting to know each other because I'm trying very hard to be more vocal in the YouTube crochet community, but I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying really hard. I love you guys so much, but I just don't. I watch the videos on my TV, and then if I remember to grab my phone and message someone, I will, but it's kind of few and far between, so I'm really sorry, but I do watch all the videos. I like them. If you look at my Amanda Yates Time to Art channel, no, sorry, wrong one, Amanda Yates, just Amanda Yates, I thumbs up everybody, and everybody I'm subscribed to here on this channel, I am subscribed to on that channel. So let's talk about that. Amanda Yates Time to Art. I was avid artist for a long time, and I had created a channel to showcase my artwork and kind of, catalog it for myself, and then I just couldn't put my heart in it anymore. I was having a hard time making the videos and stuff, and so I stopped making videos, and then about a year and a half later I stopped painting and drawing altogether. It just wasn't satisfying to me anymore, and it was a lot of anxiety I didn't need. A lot of stress for no reason. It wasn't a creative process that I enjoyed anymore, I think is what it really boils down to. So there's that channel if you want to check that out, and there's not much on there, a few things, but yeah. And actually all my paintings that I have now, for the most part, I have earmarked for certain people, so I'll be sending those out in the mail as soon as possible. I don't know when as soon as possible is, but I will. So I wanted to kind of do something different today. I want to go through, my finished objects and my work in progress right now. Works in progress. But, I wanted to let you know a little bit more about me. And if this is, this is rambling right now, so if you want to fast forward ahead to see the stuff, you are more than welcome to, because I could ramble for a while. I haven't been on here for about a month, and this is probably going to be a long one. Look. The Beetlejuice mug, it's up to here with tea. It's as big as my head, so we could be here a while. I'm just saying. Excuse me. So I have kind of been a Jane of many but master of none for a long time. Done a lot of things. I've had a lot of different creative endeavors that I've gone after in my life, and a lot of spiritual journey that I've had throughout my life. And for some reason today, I was moved to do this. And again, if this is not your cup of tea, I get it, and I am not doing this to offend anybody. I just feel like there's a lot going on that I'm not going to talk about. That's the elephant in the room for everyone right now. Everyone. So, something in me stirred just a little while ago, and I started gathering my rocks. I have been a rock collector the majority of my life. And when I say rocks, I mean crystals. I just love them. I don't touch them and use them as much as I used to. I used to be very, very heavy into my crystals and magic, and actually one of my most memorable and first Christmas presents were 2 books about that thick. One on tarot, and then also a deck and a book on, deck and book on tarot, and then another one on astrology. So I've been doing this since, I don't know, since I was about, I think that Christmas was my 12, I don't know, it was 12, 10 or 12. But even before that, like I remember when I was like 6 or 7, making this copper imprint drawing of a Pisces, which is what I am. So it's been a part of my life for a long time. And I kind of got away from it for a while. And I'm still kind of away from it. However, I used to collect books of tarot. I used to collect them. I used to have so many. And throughout the years, I have given them away, gifted them to whomever I felt needed the deck at the time. And now I'm down to 2 decks. And I don't even use them on a daily basis. I don't use them. But I wanted to pull a card for some reason today, and just kind of, I think that I would like to try to do this daily, like where I pull a card and just kind of chat about what's going on. And it'll probably be separate from the crochet stuff. And I'll say that, but just because this is the first one, I'm just kind of lumping it all together. And because my kiddos are actually letting me do this right now, I'm taking full advantage of it. In just 1 minute, baby. Izzy's over here, and he's asking for pork rinds, so I might get up in a minute and go get those. And I'm not editing this video. There isn't going to be any editing because I've got Video Shop on my phone, but I haven't quite got a grasp on it. I'm working on it. I actually used to be able to, use all the audio video tech like a pro, but that was a lifetime ago before I had kids, and now not so much. My 9-year-old's teaching me again. So, Izzy Bear, Izzy, shh, indoor voice, baby, please. So anyhow, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to pull a card from this deck, and this is the Sacred Rebels Oracle from Alana Fairchild. And I got this years ago. When did I get this? 2017 was when I got this. And I have pulled from these cards, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 times. But I just wanted to pull a card and just, send some good energy out there, I guess. Just, there's not much I can do from this end, except for be somewhat entertaining, if I am. So I just wanted to pull a card real quick, and then we'll get onto the crochet stuff. Things are weird for people, for everyone. And, I'm just hoping that maybe just getting here once a day and pulling a card will, hopefully it'll help somebody. Help me, at least. And then I can go back and look. It was funny because I was actually looking through Facebook over the past year now, has been popping up these messages that I have these, what I was doing 3 or 4 years ago, this day, 3 or 4 years ago. And I was in such a good place. I was in such a good spiritual and emotional place because I had done a lot of healing. A lot of healing. I'm not going to get into all the details now, but there was, aside from, the turmoil we've had as a family, just with our children being born early and all that stuff. I've been through about 5 lifetimes worth of turmoil in this one lifetime. And, I went through some really deep healing with that. And I was in this really great place. And when I was in that place, every morning I would get up and on my Facebook, I would write a message to myself and whoever else needed to hear it at the time, about, you know, loving yourself and about getting through the day with a smile on your face. And I wish I had pulled one up and wrote it down, because it was pretty profound at the time. It was very profound, actually. And it's like, I feel like a part of me is echoing to myself, you know, to remember that now. And I'm hoping that maybe doing this once a day will kind of bring that back to me. So I've been shuffling the whole time I've been talking, and I'm just going to pick a card and show it to you, and then I'll look it up and I'll read it to you, and we'll go from there. Izzy Bear, can you turn that down a little bit, please? This is a daily battle. Constantly. Buddy, can you turn it down a little bit, please? Please turn it down. Please. Thank you. I'm sorry. He's watching something right now that could be copyrighted, and I don't want to get copyright strikes on myself. So this is the card. It is, I don't know if you can read it. I'm reading it backwards. It says, relax the hold. Hang on. Relax the hold of the darkness and be at cause. Relax the hold of the darkness and be at cause. Hang on one second. Okay, I think he went back that way. Relax the hold of the darkness and be at cause. So basically that's saying hold space. That's what I get from it. Isn't that funny? We're all holding space right now. We're all holding space just to get to the other side of this. We're all doing that. Relax the hold of the darkness. And let go of all the negative. Let go of all the... Just let go of all the stuff that's getting into your head and making this period of vacillation harder. You know, I mean, we're all going through the stuff, and I mean, right now, yeah, I'm being heavy about it. I am, because you know what, I gotta get this out. I don't have anybody else to talk to about it, so I've gotta get it out. You can fast forward anytime. Feel free to jump ahead or even leave the video. I totally respect that. I get it. But you know, aside from the actual stuff that we're hearing and we're taking in about what's going on, there's also the imaginary, you know, all the media that we've taken in our lifetimes that have created these fictitious ways that this could work out or not work out. And that right there creates a level of anxiety that, I mean, it's already hard. And holding on to that makes it even harder. And you know what? I'm saying this because I need to hear this. Last night, I was laying down with my son trying to get him to go to sleep, and my mind was racing with some stuff that I didn't even want to vocalize to my husband, because I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it. But it was in my head, and I was trying to get it out. And it's funny because this card, let's actually read in the book. There's a book here. Let's read what it says. Number 26. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. That's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful card, too. Hang on, I'll show it to you again. Here we go. Can you see it? It's like it's a lady, and she's on a tree stump here, and she's surrounded by this beautiful aura of a tree that was there, like it was cut off. And this is the memory of it. And she's just holding on to it. She's giving her energy to that stump so that it can grow again, or so that it can at least be okay with where it is. And just wait. At least that's what I see. That's instinctually what I see. I've never seen this card before. at least to read. So here we go. Let's see what it says. Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe, so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us, more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of the great, big, cosmic yes. To access this reality, you have to leap from known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing so. You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second guessing, and the belief you have to do everything on your own. You may fear for your life. How will you be safe in the wild, electrical pulse of so much aliveness? How will you function without the hazy, sleep-inducing paralysis of playing it safe, taking too long, and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life? Wow. You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. It is a force of startling, raw awakening at times, but it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to the seasonal cycle in the right timing. You are a part of, not apart from, that process. The invitation to shift gears and jump on board the express train of life will feel exhilarating and perhaps also challenging. When you are in the hold of the darkness, you will feel pushed, turned away, to imagine it is all too much, and to create excuses about how your desires aren't grounded enough, that you are being too flighty or flaky, or that you are not living in the real world. Excuse me. That is fear talking, not truth. If the sacred rebel is not awakened, we will continue to live in a culture drenched in fear and distrust of nature. Those without awakened hearts don't yet understand what nature knows. She knows timing. She knows life and death. She knows the creative process. She just knows, and can be trusted to support us, her own creations, in becoming all that we can become. Does this mean that we become passive and just flow along like a limp leaf detached from the tree and blown about randomly by the breeze? No. Being free of the dark hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have by following up on them. This is painting like someone who has lost their mind, completely free and from the heart. It means writing even though you have no conscious idea of what you are writing, even as the words are streaming forth upon the page before your rather curious eyes. Sorry. And it means speaking about your work, never hiding it away. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Allow it to breathe fresh air and be held in the gaze of another. Detach from the darkness that would say it is not enough or must be the best thing ever, whatever that means, in order to be worthy of a place in the world. Instead, just let it be what it is. It might fly, it might endure, and it might not. all of nature, including you and your passions and dreams, will be what is needed, when it is needed, and how it is needed, according to wisdom. We just have to trust in this, within ourselves and within nature herself, through the flow of life, and participate. You are asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is so much more calling to you now. It's your time. Leap. Okay, here is the beautiful woman that created this deck. I don't want any, there's the info for her. I just want to make sure I'm doing this properly. I don't want anybody to be upset with me for sharing this. But personally for me, that's huge. What I just read means so much to me because I have been so apprehensive about recording again. Just because, you know, I don't know what I have to contribute. I'm trying to get myself motivated enough to create tutorials and come up with patterns and stuff like that because I want to feel like I've contributed something. And my phone is ringing right now. I'm sorry about that. That's my husband. Anyhow, so for me, all that was said in there makes a lot of sense. And I think that's important too for us to be as proactive as we can throughout this process. Do stuff. I mean, Faye from the Crochet Circle podcast just put out, what was it, a lemonade mal? Make lemonade mal? A make-along on Instagram. And I thought that was just the most beautiful thing because, you know, I've been working on these 50 sweaters is what my plan was for the year. And I'm putting it on hold. I'm putting it on hold. And the reason for it is because I sat down this morning and I'm testing a pattern right now and I'm finishing that up. But that's going to be my last sweater for a little bit. I've got one that I started that's my own design that I'll get to when I get to. I want to actually make dishcloths and dish towels for my neighbors and take them, you know, I've got cotton yarn and I want to take them to them and say, here, you know, have this and save on the stuff, excuse me, that you have to buy. So that's my plan going forward. So, yeah. I hope you like that. I hope you're still around. It's been 23 minutes and I'm so sorry. Like I said, this is going to be a long one and I'm sorry. I'm sure, I don't know. I hope I didn't offend anybody by reading that. I feel like sometimes if we get caught up in these things, we don't listen to our guidance the way that we should. And whether that be from whomever you deem to trust with your guidance, you know. Anyhow, so crochet stuff. Let's do that. Let's do some finished objects, huh? Irish breakfast tea is what this is, by the way. And oh, this is cup number 7 because Izzy's had me up since 2:30 this morning. And at 4 o'clock, it was so funny. At 4 o'clock this morning, I went to watch Allie from Little Drops of Wonderful. I went to watch her vlog on Woolality TV, and it wasn't working. So I messaged her on Instagram at like 4 o'clock in the morning and said, "Man, you know, I was just like, just to give you the heads up, you know, it's set weird and all that stuff." And bless her heart, she was nice enough to message me back quickly and apologize. And I was like, no, my art channel, I used to do that all the time. I used to set stuff to private or unlisted and not realize it. And especially like in the middle of like a collaboration with somebody, you know, and somebody else is relying on my video to point to theirs, you know, like a hop kind of thing. You know, and that would be fun. A crochet hop would be a lot of fun. Now that I think about it. I don't even know how that would work, but it would be a lot of fun. Anyway, so 6 cup of tea. Oh. Fourth cup of tea. I had 2 coffees. It's been a long day. Excuse me for wiping my nose. I'm in my own house. Hand sanitizer's right behind me. And my kiddos are very abundantly clear that we need to wash hands and sanitize and we're doing stuff. So, first finished object was for Season of the Granny. I had started working on my cardigan for that, but then I decided at the last minute when I finally got it done, I got it done in time to submit it for Deb from the Canadian Crocheter. I got in time to do her, block? I can't remember now. Around the block, on the block, something about the block, some kind of block, crochet along, and so I submitted for that, and in the meantime I came up with this. This is it's just granny stitch, and it is super simple. It is a little short sleeve sweater, and I'm calling it my Granny Wears Bobby Socks because it reminds me of one of those Angora sweaters from like the 1950s. Hang on, I'll show you if I can. It's cute and short, and it actually tapers in on the sides, and the cute little cuffs. You can see the back. It's just straight across the back. But yeah, I think this one took me about 3 days to make. Cute, easy. It's really lovely. The yarn is Rainbow by Ice Yarn, from Ice Yarns. And the colors, I need to start having my bands. Hang on, I'll find it. Hang on 1 second. Here we go. It is rainbow brown shades, or brown shades, pink shades. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think this one is just like Lion Brand's Unforgettable, I think. Yeah, I think it's like Unforgettable. But this is the yarn, and it's all flat because it's been in the bag. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And the striping, I mean, it's just perfect striping. Even the sleeves. Getting the borders on the sleeves, super easy. I didn't even have to like really color control it much at all. It was just the right amount. It's just the right amount. So I made this for the Season of the Granny. Now, the one that I did for Block Party, it was Block Party. That was the name of it. It was called the Block Party. One that I did for that was, hang on, I'll show you. Sorry, sorry. Was this one. And this is just a cute little cardigan. I call it the Mrs. Roper because it totally reminds me of Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. It's got buttons. Buttons. But yeah, this one was a bit of a pain. Oh, hi, I'm here. This one was a bit of a pain. It was very, turning circles into rectangles, not fun. So not fun. There's that. And I'm sorry I don't have a better angle. I mean, I can see if I can get my picture in here. I don't know. I might not. I don't know. I mean, right now we're at 30 minutes, so I'm gonna try to start wrapping it up soon. Anyhow, this one was made from Ice Yarns as well. It was actually, the mustard color is from Ice Yarns. It's favorite in, I think the colorway was gold, I think. And then each of these were made with, this is Loops and Threads Barcelona. And this is, oh, this one is just Lion Brand, oh, what was it? Is it Woolies? Maybe? Maybe. And then this one was actually, I love this yarn in a fuchsia color. So, yeah, this one was, it was, the reason why it was a pain in the butt is I made these sleeves. I had planned on taking the motifs and building them into sleeves and having it be like a full-on, you know, cardigan. And I spent 2 days building them, frogging them, building them a different way, frogging them again. And then finally I was just like, you know what? This is a short sleeve sweater. That's what it is. It's not going any further than this. So that's what it became. So yeah, I love it. I've worn it a bunch of times since I finished it. So there's that one. All right, so that's what we got. Two finished objects. All right. Now this one I have been living in. I have been absolutely living in this sweater. And I'm going to make it again because it is just gorgeous and it's so awesome. The designer, Linda Scuja, she is Elven Handmade on Ravelry and on Instagram. And by the way, I am on Ravelry at Knots of Mayhem. I always forget to say that. I'm also on Instagram at knots_of_mayhem. I always forget to say these things. And also thumbs up and subscribe and all that stuff because I'll forget to say that too. Anyhow, so this is my third finished object and it's called the Gorse Sweater. And it is, oh, I love it. This is it. And, you know, you can't really see. Oh, that sucks. Here it is. It's just this really great top-down raglan. But the raglan, this is the genius part, the raglan is a puff stitch. So all the way down, let me get it in the T. All the way down, you have this really great puff stitch here on both the raglan stitches, front and back, and that's the cool thing about Linda's designs. She uses texture. Hang on, sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. She uses texture in a way. They're just Elven Handmade is the best way to describe it. I mean, it looks like I used to make jewelry. And actually, I've gotten into that again with making stitch markers, but beside the point. When I made jewelry, there were certain pieces that, you know, if you moved the wire in a certain way, it kind of gave it an elven look. And her crochet, yeah, it has that whimsy and that fairy tale feel to it. Just really good. And her patterns are totally worth it. She, you know, everything is laid out for you. There are amazing photographs. There are detailed instructions. I mean, they're good. They're very, very good. So yeah, so there's my Gorse sweater. And I'm telling you, people in my neighborhood, I think they know that I live in this sweater. I mean, like I'm almost wearing this like every other day. Love it. So there's that. Oh, I made that with, Ice Yarn Baby Mix in blue shades, held double with their alpaca fine, Ice Yarn's alpaca fine. So it's acrylic and alpaca. So this is definitely a hand washed. All of my stuff is hand washed, really. That's just the way I take care of it. So excuse me for wiping my nose. Getting teary eyed earlier got me all, you know, runny. So yeah. So then I've got 2 more finished objects. Let's see. I decided to go on a bit of a testing binge, and I've tested 3 patterns, or I'm still testing one of them. But this one, now these don't look like this, just so you get the heads up. These are actually my mistake. I didn't have the right size yarn. And I mean, they're not really a mistake. I love them. I think they're great. And actually they've already been spoken for. Someone's already asked for them. So they are pretty cool. I tested the pattern Fit to Burst by Rosina from Zanes and Roger. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and they're easy to work and real quick. But again, I had large yarn, so mine are a little bigger than what they should be. My bobble is a little bit big, so, but Fit to Burst, I mean, that's like the perfect name for these. They are about to explode. I mean, they just look like they're about to just come to life, you know? And they're very airy. I can't really see it on my hands, but the way the patterns worked, it's so airy and lacy, so they're like perfect for like transitional seasons, like, you know, in between winter and summer, and in between summer and winter, you know. That's funny. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Just in between summer and winter, period. These are great, and I am planning on making me another pair in the proper weight yarn soon. So there's that. And then I have my last finished object, which is this lovely, lovely bag from Crochet with Mary Beth. Hang on, I've got her pattern here. Yeah, the tied together market bag. This is the pattern. I tested this one, and I'm not going to show you the pattern because I don't have permission to. But crochetwithmarybeth.com. I don't know when she's releasing this pattern. I don't think it's been released yet. When I test patterns, just to let you know, I go by everything they say, with the exception of I try to push the limits. If there's some purpose for me to use it in a different way, or if I only have a certain amount of yarn available, or if the person that I'm testing for actually gives me permission to, I'll push the limits of the pattern. And so with this one, I used a different yarn and a different size hook. So my bag itself, the tote part of the bag, is made from Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend, which is the cake version of Flicka, which I found out after making a comment on Instagram. I was unaware. Someone educated me. So anyway, and then the straps are made from Yarn Bee's Little Dollops in the colorway Caramelicious. So this is my tied together market bag, and I have used this thing like crazy. It is awesome, and I've got it tied pretty high right now, actually. Oh, cool, you can see the striping in it. I tied it pretty high because last night when I had it full, it was really full, and it was pulling down because it was really, really full. But there's the actual tote. It's got this great little fringe on it. I mean, it's such a cute bag. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. Cute bag. Really simple, really quick, and honestly, right now, necessary. Seriously. Anything that is usable, like really usable right now, like dishcloths, dish towels, pot holders, bags, shawls for the elderly, you know, I mean, there's stuff that we can do right now to make stuff and be as proactive about all of this as possible. So this is definitely one. I mean, what neighbor wouldn't love to receive a bag like this, you know, just knock on their door and say, hey, I know it's a rough time. Here, take this with you to the grocery store, you know. The yarn doesn't cost that much. It's cotton. It doesn't cost that much. So, yeah, so there's this, and I love this bag. And then, lastly, I have one whip. No, I have a couple whips, but I'm not going to pull them all out because I'm working on several dishcloths right now to give to neighbors and for us. So I got those. But then I'm also testing another pattern, which I haven't asked her if I can show yet, because I'm still working on it. But it's the Rancho Sweater by Claudine from Iron Lamb, on Instagram and Ravelry. She's Iron Lamb. And I am working on the size 2XL. I am a large, extra large, depending. Like this sweater's a large. So I'm working on that right now, and I'm almost done. And I think I'll hold on to it until I find out from her if I can actually show it. Although it's on Instagram. I mean, you can see it on Instagram. It's a V-neck sweater. It's beautiful. I love it. And I, again, used a thinner number 4 weight yarn on it. I used, I think it's Pound of Love. Yeah, I used Pound of Love for it. And I did it in white. And it's working up a little thinner than the thickness that what I saw from the photos. But I like it. I really wanted it that way. I wanted it to be thin, so it was like one of those, those sweaters that you wear during the, late spring, early summer, where you can wear a tank top underneath. And I wanted it to be that kind of sweater. So that's what it is. So yeah, there's that. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the jewelry making that I mentioned earlier. I'm making stitch markers. I got a bug in me not too long ago, and I started making these stitch markers left and right because I could. And you see those? I don't know if you can see it. There you go. But I started making these, and isn't this great? This is a little lobster clasp. Look at that. Isn't it fantastic? They're little stitch markers, progress keepers. I've made bunches of them, and I've been thinking about sending them out to people when, when finances are available to do so. I don't know. I've got these, then I've got the wire work ones that I'm working on. I had a few of the wire worked ones, but I gave them to my mother-in-law because she's a knitter, and she never has stitch markers, so I gave them to her. But here's one that I kept. It's my favorite, and I plan on making more. And I wanted to find out if anybody's interested in, in receiving them, or I mean, even purchasing them, would be great. It's a hard time to ask people to buy stuff. It really is. I get it. So yeah, I made this one. And the cool thing is that I test them all to make sure that they're not going to snag on the yarn. I don't know if you can see that, but there's wire work at the top there. You see it? I don't know if that's going to adjust or not. But yeah, it's just, they're beautiful. I mean, they're just like little project jewelry. But yeah, so I'm making those. If anybody's interested in them, let me know. And we can work something out. I have a whole box of them. Look at those. These are all, some of these have like big charms on them, like this, big medallions. Some of them are lobster clasps. Some of them are the heart lobster clasps. And they're just cute little charms. Anyhow, I don't know. It's still something I'm playing around with. And lately, I mean, I've actually got, my geekery. I'm going to make some out of these as well. I've got wire to wrap around them and turn them into stitch markers, because why not? That would be fun. So yeah, that was my crochet hook. All right, so I've kept you guys enough. I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, it's 45 minutes in. I mean, seriously, if you made it this far, you are a saint. And let me know what you think about reading the cards every day, just one card, and kind of checking in, and touching my face. Sorry, I'm touching my face. In my own house. Yeah, so let me know what you think about reading the card and about the stitch markers and about the, you know, different stuff that I made. Thoughts. What are you doing? How are you doing? What can I do for you? Can I do something for you? Is there anything? I don't know. I don't know. I just want us all to get through this and have fun and be happy and healthy and safe and know that this is going to change a lot of things. It is. And that's okay. There are good changes coming. There's going to be some tough stuff, but there's good changes coming. So, I love you. And, you know, don't forget to visit me on Instagram and Ravelry. I'm at Knots of Mayhem for both. Knots of _ for Instagram. And, yeah, I hope to see you soon. Hope to talk to you soon. And thank you again for watching. And I love you. Bye.